Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Daryl, this is Brandon. Welcome to Backyard Gun Bros. Today we're going to be talking about this beautiful looking Marlin lever action 3030. Now this is Brandon's gun, so I'm going to go let him take the lead, and I'll just be your pretty face to stare at in the background. Go ahead, take it away, Brandon.
So this is the first gun that I've ever bought. So not my first gun, because that would have been the Model 64 that they can check out in our overview of 22s that we just did. So this is my Marlin 336SS. The SS stands not for super sport like in a car, but for stainless steel. As you can see, it is a beautiful stainless steel gun. Makes it more of that, kind of like the Henry all-weather that they make, but Marlin. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I went and bought this gun back in 2017, I had actually went out hoping to buy a Henry. At the time, though, there wasn't very many for a price point that I was okay with and a caliber that I wanted. So I decided to actually go with this Marlin 336SS. Now, the Marlin 336SS at the time, I didn't realize was actually probably one of the most popular lever actions of the 70s. Back then, the 3030 cartridge that this fires was one of the most popular deer cartridges around. And even to this day, this cartridge probably still holds the record in the country for the most deer kills by anybody. There's nothing wrong with a good bush round like a 3030. Less powerful than 4570, of course, but you do get a few options with these round nose bullets. 150, 170 grain bullets is what this has been shot. I prefer the 170s out of it for accuracy, but of course, too, I have took the traditional buckhorn sights off of this and put a Nikon sight on it. I believe it's I don't even remember what the power is on it. It's actually a really nice scope for the time. I think I spent $200 on the scope to mount it on this $700 gun, and I have not seen Marlins available near us in quite some time.
Yeah, they used to be around quite often, and then I would say shortly after you actually bought this gun, they suddenly kind of like became harder to find. I've never heard anybody really truly complain. I've heard a couple people that they care for the Henry sights over the Marlin sights, which I would say, yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, this was, in my opinion, it was probably one of the more expensive guns that have been bought out of between both of us for our collections. But this is, especially, you don't ever see the stainless steel ones out there at all. Like I'm a firm believer. I think these almost are like more collectible now with that stainless steel look than they were when you bought it. This has been in your collection for several years now. This is a great shooting gun. It handles extremely well. I do agree with you that those 170s do tend to be a little more accurate. This gun does like that little bit heavier load to it. But for the most part, this has been an outstanding firearm for you. And it's a lever action. It's cool. It gets you that, that cowboy feel to it a little bit.
Yeah, because the Cowboys totally had optics like this back in
yes,
their time.
I do understand that, and some people will not like the aspect of having a scope on a lever action. The only thing I can say that is a little bit of a complaint is handling the hammer due to the scope does tend to get in the way a little bit.
And that was actually why the buckhorn sight had to be removed, and I had to get different mounts, different ring mounts, because the hammer was in the way of the scope, and I didn't want one of those high-rise ones where I have still the ability to see those. I wanted to be able to rest my cheek and fire it comfortably. Some people can do that with those rise-ups if you actually want to keep the buckhorn sights as well.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got a beautiful grain finish to it. This has been an outstanding gun. We actually are probably due to take this to the range. We haven't pulled this one out in a little while and shot it. But that 3030 is a fantastic round. Yeah, it's easily probably got to have the record for the most deer kills out there. It is not a legal round to hunt with as of right now in our state, but in multiple states I know a lot of people that do use a 3030 lever action to hunt with, and it is by far their favorite gun to have out there. And I can't speak highly enough for this. You know, it handles extremely well. It does have that side load, doesn't have the vertical feed tube load like the Henrys do.
And some Henrys have went to the side gate loading as well. Some people prefer it. I actually think after owning this, I would prefer that tubular magazine, mainly from the load gate on these. Even though this has had probably 1,000 rounds through it at this point, that gate is still stiff.
Yeah,
like,
that is one thing. Is like, yeah, you
got
gotta
your thumb on it.
You gotta work it pretty good. It's not really easy. Like, I'm using some solid finger strength there, guys, to push that over. But you know, this has been an outstanding firearm. It definitely, in my opinion, fits the, you know, the nice, cool it factor when it comes to looks. It's a very pretty gun to have out. You pull this out of the case at a public range, people are going to stare. They're going to see that nice glint come off of it. And, you know, you're always probably going to get a guy or two like, hey, you know, they're going to come up and ask you about it, want to look at it, maybe hold it, because they think this is a very nice gun to have.
And, you know, lever actions, obviously, it's kind of like those single action revolvers that we showed in the Heritage. But that
sound.
Everybody, it's like, there's sounds that everybody hears when you, for guns. It's, you pump a shotgun when the daughter brings home a boy. Rack the lever on a lever gun, and then pull back the action on a single action revolver.
Yeah, it's an infamous sound that you're always going to be like, yep, I know exactly what that is. Anybody that's any sort of gun enthusiast is going to know that's a lever action. They know that sound.
And so this is a 6+1 gun. You can put 1 in the chamber and 6 in the tube. It's one of those guns that, kind of like a single action revolver, very little can go wrong, but there has been times where something has went wrong. Nothing catastrophic. Generally what happens is this feed gate gets stuck down, and that's if you are trying to load with it out of battery. It does have an out of battery safety. It will not fire when it's out of battery with the hammer cocked all the way back. So out of battery there, hammer will not fall. It does have a safety as well, so even with that, if you accidentally pulled the trigger, you're not going to go bang when you don't want it to go bang. Other than that, this gun, no issues whatsoever. Obviously with the stainless steel, don't have to really worry about rusting too much. I try to keep it polished because that nice glint is kind of nice when you take it out to the range there, especially on a nice sunny day. So yeah, it's teardown also for lever guns. One of my favorite things about it, you pull the lever down, remove this one screw, and you can pull everything apart with just that one screw to get a nice clean on this. So highly recommend if you can find one. This is a great gun to add to your collection.
And you know, they are a little bit more spendier. You know, lever actions always have been a little bit more on the spendy end. If you guys own some lever actions, we would love to hear more stories about them because they are so nostalgic. So hit those up in the comment section. Let us know what you think, or what you think maybe about this firearm, if the stainless steel is or is not for you. I've heard some people that don't care for them. Or what you think about putting a scope on a lever action and kind of what your opinions on that. And while you're down there, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and even hit that notification bell so you can know when we're going to be dropping some more videos. And check out our shop down there. Get yourself a hat, get yourself a t-shirt. All those profits are going to go back into the channel so we can keep bringing you great content about firearms over here, guys. Anything from you, Brandon?
Yeah, we also have a Patreon page for all of you that would like to support us monthly. It's as little as $3 a month, and that gives you early access to all of our videos and some behind-the-scene access for a little bit higher members. Go check that out in the link down below.
All right, well, don't forget, I'm Daryl. This is Brandon. We're Backyard Gun Bros, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.